If you ever come in contact with a coaster enthusiast, first of all, get out of there. You don't know what you got yourself into. Run. But you will eventually get into a discussion regarding B&M. Bollinger and Mabillard is arguably the most iconic coaster manufacturer of the modern age. From the recognizable track, that technically isn't theirs, but whatever, their renowned coasters and crystal clear track record over the years in terms of quality. Except, over the past couple years, they've started to lose their luster. Why? Because they apparently forgot how to make smooth rides. Since 2022, most B&M coasters were reported to have some rattle, especially the American ones. Rides like Iron Menace, Phoenix Rising, and Rapterra have been heavily criticized for their shakiness. This was quite surprising, as B&M have been known as harbingers of smooth and comfortable rides ever since their inception in the early 90s. But these days, it seems like that could be fading away. But you know what? To hell with that. B&M still has their shit together, because Wrath of Rakshasa is really good. Wrath of Rakshasa is a B&M dive coaster at Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois. Opening in May of 2025 as the newest coaster at the park, it stands at 180 feet tall, reaches speeds of 67 miles per hour, and travels through 3,239 feet of track and 5 inversions. It's also the world's steepest dive coaster, with a 96-degree drop, breaking the record previously set by Iron Menace. Rakshasa has completely reshaped the skyline and lineup of Great America. But when this ride was announced, there was some interesting discourse surrounding it, with one point lingering on. Would it ride the same as previous B&Ms such as Iron Menace? That ride has grown in my opinion, overblown reputation of being a shaky ride, and people were concerned if Rakshasa would be the same. And, well, let's see how the ride itself is and find out. I just gotta say, this is one pretty coaster. The paint scheme, the presentation around it, just the way it looks, fuck, this ride is beautiful. And as I said earlier, it reshaped Great America's skyline, putting this big blue coaster smack dab in the middle of it. It also completely revitalizes the area around it. The area between Demon and X-Flight is actually appealing now, thanks to this ride. The ride itself is themed to these Hindu demons called Rakshasas, or at least an exhibition of various artifacts regarding Rakshasas. It's a pretty cool way to connect it to the county fair section of the park, and is actually nicely executed. Some sick as hell statues in that queue. The queue and station of Rakshasa aren't phenomenal, but they're pretty darn solid for Six Flags. Moving on, this ride is obviously one of the most popular rides in the park. I mean, duh, it just opened. But the operations are very strong, so that line does move. I only had one ride in my limited time at Great America this past year, and waited about 30 minutes or so. Not bad at all. Anyways, as you reach the station, you see the unique loose article system this ride has. Instead of standard bins or lockers, you put your items on this almost laundromat style system, and they carry your stuff to the other side for you to pick up after the ride. It's pretty cool, I guess. After you leave your stuff behind, you find your seat in one of 3 rows. Rows are assigned, but front and back are obviously preferable. But you also want a seat away from the edge if you want a smoother ride, which I'll get to. Of course, there's your standard B&M vest restraints, which are fine. I'm quite partial to them, to be honest. There's no headbanging, but a bit restrictive, I don't know. Alright, enough preamble, here's the layout coming right up. You take a right turn into your 180-foot lift hill and approach your titular holding brake into your drop. And I have to say, this is the best drop on any dive coaster. Disclaimer, I have only done 3 dive coasters, and this will undoubtedly age poorly once this thing opens. Take my opinions with an entire salt shaker. It holds you there for a long time, and the 96-degree drop is filled with just so much airtime. After your spectacular drop is your first of 5 inversions, an implement.
How original.
Yeah, they all do this bloody inversion first. I have no idea why, but this is what every dive coaster does, and I've chosen to accept it. Whatever. Anyways, it's pretty solid like every other Immelman. Following that, though, is the exact opposite inversion, a beautifully floaty dive loop. There is just nothing like a good old dive loop. Following that is the best of the 5 inversions on the ride, this zero-G roll. It keeps twisting after the inversion into this helix of sorts. It's really damn good. The continuous motion of it keeps you disoriented, and it's just delightfully tight and forceful. Well done, B&M. Moving on is by far the most unique element on the ride,
the demonic knot.
which is also just really damn solid. It's very snappy, and I always love to see a unique element on a modern ride these days, especially when it's a B&M, because they never do anything new. And then you enter your finale, which is a turn up into a helix. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it's just a nice sweetener to end the ride. And so you enter the brakes, ending your ride on this record-breaking dive coaster. A few notes. First off, this is the best layout on any dive coaster, straight up. Until Tormenta opens next year and blows every dive coaster out of the goddamn water, Rakshasa holds this title in my opinion. It just flows extremely well with 5 great inversions and an outstanding drop. I love it. And then there's the question of, is it smooth? Well, yes, but actually no. Wrath of Rakshasa has a rattle, I cannot deny that, but it is far from intolerable. It's persistent, but not uncomfortable. I might be a bit more tolerant, as I've heard some say it is pretty rough. Maybe I got a good seat, but this ride to me isn't rough. But it's also not glass smooth. It's a paradox, I tell you.
Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day.
Oh yeah, I forgot how much of a tongue twister this ride's name is. Wrath of Rakshasa. Wrath of Rakshasa. Wrath of Rakshasa. Wrath of Nebraska. Wrath of Rakshasa. Ugh, getting that out of the way. What do I rate Wrath of Rakshasa? Fuck! Wrath of Rakshasa. Well, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. This ride is kinda overhated. Yeah, it has a bit of a rattle, but this is a damn good layout and drop. Plus it looks great and it's presented well. I can't rate it much higher, but it's still only a dive coaster after all. But Wrath of Rakshasa is a really darn fun ride. But obviously not elite. Now excuse me, I have important business to attend to. My home park is finally acknowledging that they are indeed replacing King the Ka. We are at DEF CON 1.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!